Hi, Dimitri is here and welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to my next video about odd, strange and rare things. Today we will talk about the Zenit camera, but not this classic Zenit that you used to, that you can imagine when on is talking about Zenit. No. Normally Zenit is something like that, manual exposure control, manual film winding, sorry, manual everything. But it's made from metal, it's rock solid, and it just works. No battery required, or maybe one battery for several years of photographing. But today we will not talk about this. Instead, we will talk about this one, Zenit KM Plus. This camera is new, is never used. Here you can read some characteristics. And here you can see the production date. So it's a camera from really different epoch. What is it? It is last model in Zenit line, so it's a very last Zenit. After this one there was no more. This one was with film drive electronic with motor and automatic exposure control. So it's kind of semi-automated camera. Let's open the box. First time per I don't know how many years. The box was open, but the camera should be never used. Probably it's not just open, it's just decaying. The glue is not holding this package anymore. Here we have camera in carrying pouch. Here we have here we have a neck strap. It's even sealed, so it was never opened. And here we should have some stamp of acceptance, but we have nothing. As usually in Soviet production system. And here we have some documentation. Nothing more here. Here we have some documentations like instruction, and here we have these stamps, and I don't know, I can't read it. If you can, please write in the comments. And production date is 17th of December of 04. And as you can see here, the production date is 2011, and here we have 04, so probably it spent some time in the factory storage. It's a warranty talon, I don't sure how to translate it. So if a camera is broke, you should take it to service with this formula, and they will analyze what happens, and they will write it here. So here we have what was the defect, the reason, and who was in blame. So it's a complete different system than we have now in modern civilized Western world. If you like to read it, you can put the video on pause and take a closer look. This is the same. Analysis results. This is the same. This is the same. And by the way, as you can see, here we have formula number 1, number 2, number 3, but they are completely the same. So as for me, you can just print the same paper and include several copies, but now we have numbers here. So you can put the video on pause and take a look if you are interested. And here we have operating manual. Let me know if you want this to be scanned, and I can scan this and put somewhere if you interested, if you need it, but probably nobody interested in this operating manual for the really old camera. So it has focusing screen, not just made, but with focusing devices. Okay, let's open this storage pouch. Zenit, and it has its own strap. Again, it's packaging from different era. This plastic is really hard and tough, but we don't need it anymore. And here's the camera itself. It's actually quite big, even in comparison with old Zenit, and it's lighter, but only slightly lighter. It's quite big and it feels quite big. One moment, I will bring my favorite Pentax. Okay, here we go. Here I have my favorite Pentax LX, and let's compare the size of the cameras. Zenit is bigger. It's bigger in almost all dimensions, and Pentax is made from metal, and Zenit is made from plastic. This is the body is fully plastic, and lens cover also plastic, and the rings also made from plastic. Interesting that this Zenit has Pentax K-type bayonet, even with diaphragm lever like normal Pentaxes have. It's quite interesting. I never saw Zenit like that. And here we have also red dot, like in Pentax system. It should be... Oh, and by the way, we have no electrical contacts here, so it's like a first version of K bayonet. We have focusing devices here. I'm not sure if it will be visible in camera. Well, kind of. Come on, focus. Let's try. I will try to focus the Zenit, and I hope you will be able to see that how this focusing screen works. So it's a normal focusing screen for, yeah, that's it. Normal focusing screen for the film camera, and it makes your life much easier actually. In the center you can see that let's try it like this. In the center field you can see that vertical lines are like splitted when something is not in focus, but when you put it in focus, up, and vertical line is not splitted anymore. That means that you focused it correctly, and you can do a perfect shoot. So even if you have not perfect vision, you can still see that vertical line is broken, like this. Even if camera is not focused, it's clearly visible. So it's quite interesting actually, it's quite good. Let's take a look at the control elements. Here we have shutter button. Here we have shutter speed, automatic, bulb, and manual setting of different values. And by the way, you can spin this wheel in all directions, like in digital cameras. It will not stop at some point. And here we have a window to see what we have, what film we have inside. Yeah, it was made in Russia. It was the times when something was made in Russia. Here we have self timer button, hot shoe, basic one, but we have it, and film rewind button, manual film rewinding. Actually, that's quite it. Tripod socket and button for opening the camera. And what do we have here is quite interesting. We have DX contacts and we have a lot of them. Also we have shutter itself, it's metallic. It's not material like it was before. Let me show you. Here in the older Zenits we had something, some rubber like material, and this shutter was with vertical movement, with vertical curtain movement. And here we have more modern metallic one with horizontal movement. I'm not sure which metal is this. I really hope that this is titanium, like here, for example. Let's open it. And here we have titanium blade, but not in this Zenit. Okay, let's hope it is good enough. So if we will compare the control elements in Pentax, we have lots of them. We have aspect correction, we have ISO setting manual, and we have a shutter count. By the way, here we also have shutter count, it's just electronic. And in other aspects, we can say that they are quite similar. Let's install the batteries and see what happens. And how can I open this cover? So one moment, we need 4 AA batteries. Okay, here I have the batteries, and it's quite ridiculous because I'm not sure how to install them. We have some signs here, but let's try to find in the operating manual how to install the batteries, because I really don't want to kill this camera with just incorrect polarity settings. And I'm not able to find some explanation, some picture how to install the batteries, what polarity should be used. Here we have open battery box, and looks like plus minus, minus plus. Okay, let's install it like it's shown here. Again, So okay, I guess it's close enough. Let's close the battery box and it's alive, but I guess it wants some film. I guess let's try to open it and see if it will try to wind the film. No. Okay. Probably it's something like long exposure. Oh, it's so loud. It's just sounds like a crazy. Just for the comparison, let's unlock it. No, yeah, it's unlocked. And it will not able to. No, it will not able to. Oh no, it will. So I guess you can hear this sound and this sound. It is so loud. And we have LED indication. I guess it tells us that we have too low light. Let's add something. Oh, let's switch it to F divided by 2. One moment, I will try to catch something. It's quite interesting. We have 2 red lights and 1 green between them. So I guess low one means low light, green in center means normal light, and upper one means too much light. Okay, let's try to load the film. Set this dial into automatic position and try to do some shoots. By the way, it's quite interesting, but I not see the off position here, so I not see some shutter blocker or some way to disable this camera. So if I will carry it in my pocket and accidentally I will press the button, I guess my film will be quickly ruined. Okay, let's try to install this black and white film, because I'm not sure how this camera is working. Is it working normally or not? So let's start with black and white, because it's just cheaper to buy and it's cheaper to process. It has these contacts here, so it should be able to get the ISO of the film. I guess it will do this correctly. Not sure if I did this correctly, but anyway, let's try it. Let's consult with the instruction. So yeah, we should just drop the film. I get too much films from the cartridge. We should just drop film like that, and that's it. The camera should do the rest. And for now I not see that it's doing something. It's winding. I guess we need to shoot several frames So I will go and shoot something, and I will share the results. For you it will be one moment, for me it will be some time. It's quite heavy, but it's quite interesting. I really interested in what results we will have with this Zenit R glass, Zenit R K2, with this Zenit strange Zenit camera, strange and last Zenit camera. Let's try it. Well, I did some shooting on this Zenit KM Plus camera. I have film for 36 shoots here, and for some reason it stopped at 28. When I will try to make another shot, it will just do nothing. And when I try to rewind the film, it quickly stops. So nothing happens actually. It don't want to go not forward, not rewind. So I will open this camera in the darkroom because I think it's stuck somehow, and I will just ruin the film if I will just open it right now. So wait a moment. And that's actually really nice that I decided to open the camera in darkroom, because almost half of film was on the teacup spool. So not all film was in cartridge, almost half of film was here actually. And in case if I will open this camera with such condition of film in the on light, the film will be mostly ruined. So let's develop this film and see why there was only 28 frames. Maybe it shoots first part of film and then just stop for some reason, or maybe it just creates so much gaps between the frames that on 36 frames film we got only 28, or maybe for some reason it skipped the first part of film. I don't know, let's develop it and see. I got this film developed, and while it's still drying we can more or less see what we have there. First of all, we have some light leaks. Maybe this is from the loading film in the Patterson tank. Maybe I did something wrong, and maybe this is from the camera. But what we're interested in, why it stopped shooting at frame 28. So as you can see, here we have negatives and they look more or less good, and for some reason it just stopped here. As you can see, film is clear, and we have plenty of space after the frame 27, frame 28 from the Zenit camera display. So it was not a problem with the end of film or with the spaces between frames. Spaces between frames are quite okay, but for some reason it decided to stop there. I don't know why, but it's clearly some problem with the camera. And here we have the negatives from the Zenit KM Plus scanned, converted to normal images, and you can see what do we have here on this semi-exposed and semi-empty film. Let's take a look. First of all, the overall quality is, as for me, is quite bad. The frames are quite dark and the contrast is quite low. But it is not only problem. Here is the right part of the frame. You can see something strange. I scanned this film with normal film scanner with a plastic handler for the film, and there is openings for 6 frames in this plastic handler. And when I load the film from my Pentax, for example, there it fits perfectly. 6 frames, 6 openings, no problem. And when I put the frames from this Zenit, it's not fully aligned. So the frame from this Zenit is quite it's not wide enough, it's a bit smaller than it should be. And because of that, on the most of the frames we see artifacts like this, and also, as you can see, this small line, it's like exposed a bit more. I don't know how to explain it, but it seems like here we have maybe double exposure, or maybe we have a bit longer shutter openings at the very right corner. Let's go next. Again, the low contrast here in the day photos, and here we have night photos going further in the film roll. And here we have the transition, and as you can see, first of all, again the one frame begin shortly after another. Maybe because of that they not properly aligned, because there should be some separation between the frames, and here we have nothing. And here in this line it looks like we have double exposure, so it looks like this line was exposured twice by both of the frames. Let's go next, and it's probably one of the 2 good frames from our film roll. Is one of the 2 frames that I liked, because well, it looks more or less good. Maybe I should go there and shoot from this perspective with some more adequate camera, but it is what it is. And here is another frame that I liked from this film roll. Maybe there was only 2 good frames on the entire film roll. Let's go next, and here we have shooting on the street, and we have quite low details. Here we have shooting in more or less direct sun. Here you can see the sun rays, and it seems like when we're shooting like this, the camera tends to decrease the shutter opening time even more, maybe just because there is a really bright spot in the frame, but as a result we have no information in the shadows at all, and overall contrast is quite bad. Here we have something more or less similar. There is no sun in the frame, but there are the clouds, and maybe they are reflecting the sun rays, and camera thinks that we need shorter exposure time. I don't know, but we have really high grain here, really low contrast, but this is a quite easy frame to shoot in my opinion, but we have what we have. Here is the attempts of night shooting, and as you can see, again, almost no information in the shadows, so it seems like the camera underexposing the frames, maybe not a bit, maybe it's underexposing the frames heavily. And the thing is, the camera have no slot for remote control, for some cable, or no infrared receiver, nothing. So if you will try to use B bulb mode, you will shake the camera. And if you want to do some night shooting with long exposure, the only way how you can do this is the self timer. But in that case, you got what you got. You cannot shoot in bulb, so the quality in this case is also bad as for me. Let's go next, and this is again night shooting, long exposure, and no information in the shadows at all. So technically I think this is just a broken frame. Again night shooting, again information in the shadows. We have some light actually here, and in the night when you will look at this with your eyes, you will see something there, but not with this Zenit KM Plus, unfortunately. Again, no information in the shadows, but yeah, here we have a bright light source in the view. Here we have more or less the same, and again, on the left and right corners we have pieces of double exposure maybe. And here it seems like we have some separation, maybe. But again, the frame size, frame width is not standard, it's a bit smaller. And while I looking on this, I have a feeling that these frames are looks like ones from the disposable cameras, from the point and shoot, where you have fixed aperture and fixed shutter speed. They often underexposed if you're not shooting in the bright sun, and here we have actually the same. But come on, it's a solar camera with metric system, with electronically controlled shutter, but we have what we have. We have disposable point and shoot quality. And here is my attempt to do some landscape shooting, and again, no information in the shadows. But it was about midday. It was overcast, but pretty bright day, and again, no information in the shadows. Again, all frames are quite underexposed. The same, and double exposure at the edges of the frame, and this may be more or less good frame. It's a third one that I can count not as clearly broken, but again, at the edges of the frame we see something like double exposure. I don't know why. Or maybe something is wrong with shutter, but this is a shutter with vertical traveling, so I don't believe that it's about the shutter. I think it's about something like double exposure, or maybe some reflections inside the camera. Anyway, the quality of the images is quite bad. They are looks like ones from cheap disposable point and shoot. They looks overexposed, and with point and shoot you will have underexposed frames only when you shoot in the dark or not in the bright sun. But here, thanks to the metering system, thanks to the electronically controlled shutter, you will have underexposed frames in any conditions. The camera will take care about this. So, in my opinion, it's quite disappointing. In my opinion, we have pretty bad quality, and this is only about the quality of the frames that we have. But remember, we also have third of the film roll unexposed just because the camera thinks that okay, this is the end of the roll. And remember that camera was refused to rewind this, so in case if you will try to change the film in the field, you probably will ruin most of your frames. So that's it about the photos. So here is the conclusion, like the end of this story with Zenit KM Plus. This camera, as per my opinion, is failed not because of bad luck or bad timing or something like that. This camera is failed mostly because of its characteristics, its features. It's quite unhandy, quite big, bulky, and we have no socket for the remote control. We have no shutter block, so if you accidentally will press the shutter button when this camera is in your pocket, in your backpack or something like that, here is what will happen. So it will just ruin your film if film is there. And for some reason, in my case, it's not. It refused to shut all of the film. It only take 28 exposures and that's it. And it refused to rewind that film. So it is impossible to change film on the go. In my opinion, when guys from Krasnogorsk tried to make this Zenit KM Plus, they tried to make something like this, like Pentax MZS. It's a fully automatic camera with motor drive. Looks quite similar. Even the shutter in these two cameras looks quite similar as for me. So here we have horizontal lamels, horizontal elements of the shutter, and here you have almost the same construction. Its mechanism of the shutter is different, but the idea is the same. It's not a vertical traveling, not horizontal traveling curtain, but vertical traveling number of separate plates. It tries to load the film, but there is nothing. And just listen to this sound. And by the way, if I will just hold and press it accidentally in my backpack or something like that, it will shut just one time. Yes, obviously, if it will keep pressed and depressed, yeah, it will ruin all the film. Or if you will put this in continuous shooting. And yeah, you can hear that autofocus is trying to focus. This one has autofocus system built in. And here we have no autofocus, no control of the aperture. Here we have automatic aperture control available. Here we have no. So it should be quite the same as advanced models of the time, but actually it's quite bulky, it's quite heavy, quite hard to use, and yeah, as you can see, it's much wider than Pentax. And most crucial, it will just ruin your film. It will underexpose it. It will not shoot all the film. It will not rewind it. So this camera is obviously failed not because of bad luck, bad timing, or something like that. It's just because the quality of the camera itself, the quality is surprisingly bad for me. I had an idea that maybe this one will be useful, at least. Maybe it will not be good, but at least it's useful. But it seems like no. So thank you for watching. Bye.